us some stuff about you, man. Like, can you tell us about the first time you got high?
Oh man, the first time
So at a
I
New
do
Kids on the Block concert?
I do I was at New Kids on the Block. I was backstage, Joey. He was there. Um,
He pulled out a big one.
I mean, the very, very first time I ever consumed, didn't feel anything, think it was real, who knows kind of thing. But the second time I did, and it was very pleasant, and I kind of carry forward. But you remember those, like, I think everybody remembers, like, maybe the first, I don't know, say 10 times you ever got high, it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was different. Everyone's chasing that dragon kind of thing. It's just like, it was different. You don't really find that anymore. Like, I just have these vivid memories of these, like, almost like psychedelic sort of experiences. You know what I mean? Like, just so crazy strong. Like, I can picture it just like it's yesterday, like walking through this like trail with my friend, and like thinking my legs went down like this and then out like this, and they were like on two wheels like this, going like and I just had this sensation of, like, as I was walking, and it was like, and I could just recall it like perfectly, you know what I mean? And that doesn't really happen for me anymore, and it's too bad. You know what I mean? I really wish you could kind of go back and experience it again for the first time, right? But
You kind of can if you take like a decent tolerance break.
yeah,
can,
that's
bro.
true. That's true. I guess I don't tend to do that. I
Man.
should.
When I first moved to California in 2012, I hadn't smoked in probably like 9 months.
Wow.
So like
That's
it
tolerance
yeah.
break.
Well,
Like,
Illinois, man, you know,
ah,
it was illegal, and I would have gotten fired from my
right.
job.
Like,
So it
go to
was always
jail
like
kind of thing. Like,
a juggling thing, and sometimes when things got serious, I had to take big breaks. But yeah, when I
yeah.
came to California and got hooked up on the medical system, and I had my first, like, for one, the weed in California is way better than the illegal weed from Illinois in 2012. So way better. The first time I got high, it was totally that high school high again. I remember being in the shower and I couldn't stop, like, turning around, like, because like I was like I just had this thing, it fucked with my OCD, and I was like as I was turning, I'm like, I can't stop turning, and I was just like spinning around in the
Like a
shower,
top,
man.
it's just
Twirly
like,
Troy. I love it, man.
I was so fucking high, dude.
wow, that makes me want to take a tolerance break, like, like a real good old fashioned, like, 30-day or something like that. Cause it's, yeah, those old times, like, it's like, I just have like just these certain, like, it's just, to me, I guess what's kind of like always remarkable is just like how vivid those kind of moments are. You know what I mean? Like, you're going back to, like,
Yeah.
you're a teenager and you're just like, man, like, I can remember that sensation kind of thing. Right. And, so, it was, yeah, definitely good. I never really had any, I guess a couple run-ins. I had a cop one time take my first vape, a homemade vape,
Oh
and he
no.
took it. Yeah, luckily he just took it. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, here, especially in BC, like, weed was completely illegal back then, but like they didn't care. Like, they didn't care at all. But I had this homemade vape, which I was
Yeah,
really
tell us
proud
about
of.
this.
So it was, there was a website called overgrow.com. That was
Yeah.
like the weed-based website. It got like shut. I think it's back up, but it's nothing like it was. Like, it was, and it was a
Yeah,
community. Like, it was
it was
a
a community
force back
site.
then.
It's huge.
Oh, it was huge. It was so active. And they had these schematics for building like a homemade vaporizer. So you had a soldering iron and it had like a kind of a parts list. A lot of them were from Radio Shack. If you guys remember Radio Shack, which was, pretty cool back in the day.
Throwback.
You took a soldering iron, you unscrewed the tip on it. Then you took the disc out of like a 3.5-inch disc. You took the center little metal part out of the disc, kind of had to destroy the disc. And then you just used a screw.
The part with the little square hole in it.
That's right, exactly. And then you used a screw that would thread into where you unscrewed the soldering iron tip to hold that in place on the soldering iron. And then you got, you had to have like a control box to control the temperature of the soldering iron, like an adjustable voltage or something like that. And then you simply took a pop bottle, like a 2-liter pop bottle or something, cut a hole in the cap, and then slid that into the bottom of the soldering iron, kind of taped it around there. And then to use it, and then you put little tin foil over the assembly, like the disc and the tin or the soldering iron.
And then
And
you
then
go driving down the roads and get all that ass of this thing in the car.
No, we weren't using it at the time. It was
It
was just a a passenger at the time, unfortunately, because you had to plug it in. That's the only reason we weren't using it, but because you had to plug it in. But it actually worked. Like it completely would vaporize the weed. And then you had to kind of like carefully unscrew the bottle and try put a straw on there or something like that to sip it out. So it was very kind of proof of concept. But like that was where my kind of interest and fascination in vaporizers began, right? Because I always just found the concept really cool. Like I'd read about it on Overgrow. They really only had kind of like the Volcano that was of any notoriety at that point. That was the only one you kind of heard of. I'm sure others existed, but and I was just like, oh, wow, that's so cool. And then I bought from a friend. You guys have seen that one. It's like a mason jar that you screw on, kind of an appliance that it's essentially a soldering iron with a little. I think it's called the BC Vaporizer, BC, and then I had one of those, and it was. I was sold at that point. Like I'm just like, oh man, like that's kind of all I was doing from then on, right? And then from there, I bought my first commercial vaporizer. It was called the Innovap. Like I gave people this link the other day. I think it's like Rollies.com. If you search Innovap, INAVAP, they still have like the website up. I think it's the website where I bought this. And I'm talking, this was in like 2001 maybe. And the website is like preserved in time, this relic of the past. Like you'll go on the website, you'll be like, wow, I remember when the internet used to look like this. And you can still, I don't know if you can still buy it. Like I don't want to put my credit card on this website, but it was, that thing was garbage, like wow, it was so bad. Like first of all, it was just harsh as hell, like ultra harsh, right? Just kill your throat harsh kind of thing. But then one day I was using it, heated it up, take a hit, and blew out the thickest hit you could imagine. Like if you were hitting like 3 carts at once kind of thing, right? And then just immediately this hardcore chemical taste. And I'm just like, oh, like, like just hacking, trying to get this out of my system kind of thing. And what it was how they had the oven attached to the plastic body was like glue. And so the glue had melted. And so you just took a big huff of glue from this thing essentially, right? And it was just like, it was in your mouth for the next 24 hours kind of thing. And then from there, I bought a Volcano, right? And it's just like, that's what I was, I was saying, it's one of those things where it's like, Susanna, my fiance, she's got a great saying. It's just like, I don't have enough money to buy cheap things, right? Because it's like, if you buy cheap things, they're usually crap and they're garbage and you end up replacing them with something else. So you're just kind of throwing your money away, right?
Buy a bunch of cheap shit, yeah.
Right. So it's like, I wish from the start that I just bought good things, and you kind of have to learn those lessons over time, right? But that Volcano I had for 7 years, you know what I mean? I didn't combust at all since I got that thing, except rare occasion, whatever. But
what year did you buy it?
I think I bought it in like 2000. I want to say 2004. I think it was.
The Volcano?
Yeah, the Volcano.
That's way the fuck back, man. That's way back.
It was way back. Like it was when, internet e-commerce was like in its infancy kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I guess I'll put my credit card information on this web. If your parents found it, are you insane? What you're going to, right? But it was like, that it was just one of the best like things I ever bought kind of thing. It's like when I was saying the YouTube premium, you know what I mean? It's just like one of these things that you just notice from that day forward. You're like, this has improved my life. Like this has made my life better, right? Like this has taken an aspect of my life and made it better kind of thing, right? So yeah, that was my, and then from there, I just kind of kept on with it. You know what I mean? I think the next vape I bought after that was the Solo, the original Solo. So I had the Volcano until I got the Solo, and then I knocked the Volcano off my dresser one day and killed it. Yeah, painful. But then I bought a digital one.
There you go.
So all worked out,
Fuck with that timer for the rest of your life. Yeah.